Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Roxanne, Carne, personal wardrobe stylist for women, transforming their wardrobes and transforming their lives every day. And I'm so happy to have you here with me today. I'm so excited to share this video with me. I know I say that literally like all the time, but I really am this time because I got an autograph with my name on a really awesome pair of shoes by a really awesome shoe designer. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of the backstory and then I'll do the unboxings to show you. But I, 2 Thursdays ago, I got a text from one of my folks over at Neiman's, who's always like hooking me up. And she was like, guess what? She's like, I wanna invite you to this event that is going to have Christian Louboutin there highlighting his collection for the current season. And it's just like a special edition collection. And I was like, wait, is he going to be there? And she was like, yes. And I was like, okay, sign me up. So fortunately, I actually had something else on my schedule for that evening. So I had to move that to a night later because there was no way that I was gonna miss meeting Christian Louboutin. So then she goes on to say, oh, and by the way, he's gonna be signing shoes. And I'm like, what? Signing shoes? Okay, I definitely have to go. And at first I was thinking like, okay, I can bring a pair of my own Louboutin shoes to have him sign. But she said, of course, it's sales. She was like, it has to be a shoe from the new collection, a shoe or a handbag actually. So I was like, okay, well, I guess it's an opportunity to get yet another pair of shoes. So I was like, okay, yes, sign me up, I will be there. And then she told me, she was like, look, he's only signing shoes for the first 75 people to buy a pair, which makes sense because, is he gonna be like spending time in Dallas in his hotel room just signing shoes, into perpetuity? I don't think so. So I was like, okay, well, I'll come. I was like, the earliest I can come is like Saturday morning because I was like really stacked during the day for the Friday the next day. And I said, well, how many people, are you inviting and how many people have actually purchased shoes? And she was like, we're up to about 40 people now or 40 shoes. And I'm like, what? And she did also tell me that you can only get 1 pair per person. So all like Friday, I'm stressing out because I'm like, if I wait till Saturday morning, there's a high probability that I can buy the shoe, but I'm not gonna get it signed. And so I was able to, I was able to get to the store probably about like 20 minutes before closing. And we actually didn't leave the store until about like a good 15, 20 minutes after it closed because I was selecting my shoe and getting the sizing right and all that because Christian Louboutin has changed their sizing a little bit. So I also was like scheming a little bit because again, there's a limit of 1 pair of shoes per person. So my husband went with me and I told my folks, I was like, oh, he'll get a pair for someone in his family. So slight little white lie there. The pair was actually for my best friend, but I didn't want it to be like, oh, I'm really buying 2 pairs. So, and I didn't think a red flag would go up for them because the sizes were completely different. Like if I was like, oh, he's buying for a family member and the size was my size, that would have been a little bit suspect that I'd be getting 2 pairs of shoes, but it was actually a different size. So it was fine. And they probably would have been fine if I told them that I was getting it for my BFF, but, it is what it is. I was just like, I didn't want to take any chances of them saying no. And they were like really strict about it too. Like they had to be 2 separate transactions in both like one from my name and one in my husband's name, like credit card. Like I couldn't say, oh, I'm buying another pair and have him walk out with it. It had to be 2 separate names altogether. So they had this pretty buttoned down. So I made my way on down to Neiman's and so the cool thing was that the event and the theme of the collection was pool party. So, and I'll show you some pictures of what it looked like. So I went to that part of the store and they had completely transformed it, and it looked like you were at a swimming pool. They had a lifeguard tower. They had, you know, like furniture that was like kind of like pool-esque. They also had, a pool built out with like little towel work and everything, and like fake water. And the water was just really kind of a design, and more on that later. You know, what is it called? The lifesavers, like all of that, and a bar. And I can't remember what the bar said, but I'll show you a picture. And it was just really, really cute. I was like, wow, they really went kind of all out for this. So as we're walking through, and in the pool themed area, they had the shoes and the few handbags on display. They actually had like a cool skateboard too, which is like 1 of 5 in the world that they made, apparently. But so you're kind of like walking through the area. So I'm like scanning to see, all right, like what, because the way when I shop for myself, I look for things that are distinctive. And when I see something that I like, I know it right away. So I'm scanning, and I see this one pair, and it was just like, oh, like, I was like, that's the one. And I'm sure they'll have it in my size because they haven't released it. It wasn't online, nothing. So I know that they have full inventory. So in that same, you know, kind of hunt for my shoe, I was also looking at shoes for my BFF. So I'm like, taking snaps and texting her and taking snaps and be like, do you like this? Do you like this? I took a picture of like every shoe that they had. And I would say for the women's shoes, they probably had about, I don't know, 7 or 8 pairs. So it wasn't like it was 20, but they were all kind of like spread out over the pool party area. So we're looking, and she's like, oh my gosh, Roxanne, let me see that one. So I did like a little video and texted it to her. And then we eventually did like FaceTime as well, so that she could like see it in real time. So I made my choice, she made hers. And then to my surprise, my husband, he sees a pair of shoes that he likes. So they did have some men's shoes as well. I think they literally had like 3 pairs. Girls, you know how it goes, right? Ladies have tons and tons of shoes, and the men like have like that much. So he saw a pair. He was like, these are pretty cool. And it was in his color palette. I trained him well. So he was like, I'm gonna get these, you know, he was gonna get them for himself. But those would obviously not be signed because, again, it's 1 per person. And really, to be honest, with men's shoes, like, it's flat, right? Like if he signed it, you would just walk all over it. So there's nowhere to sign there. It wouldn't be untouched. So anyway, we got our shoes, and he was not signing them in real time at the event the following Tuesday. He was gonna be signing it like over the weekend leading up to it, or maybe just after the event. So we didn't get the shoes until probably about 3 days later. I actually picked it up today, 3 kind of like business days later. So I'm like just so happy to have them in my possession. So I'm going to show you the shoes that we got, and I'd love to know what you think about it. So, you know, the Louboutins are known for the red bottoms, the murder shoes, right? I'm gonna start off with the men's shoe, which is probably, it's the most comfortable shoe out of everything that they make, guaranteed. So I'm gonna show you what my hubby got. And he actually, because he did not get his shoe signed, we were able to bring his shoes home that night. So he actually wore his shoes to the party, ladies. And let me tell you, was it a hit? And when we met Christian Louboutin, Michael showed him the shoes, and Christian was like, oh yeah, like he was eating it up that my husband was wearing the shoes. So these are the shoes that my hubby got. So, you know, loafers are like big time right now. So these are the beautiful shoes that he wore, and the tassels have like a little bit of like patent leather on it, a little bit of kind of like a yarn effect here. And if you look at the design, the shoe, it looks like what? It looks like water. pool water, right? So this is actually the design that they had inside the pool. And you could like step into the pool, into the water. But this was the design that they had at the bottom. So beautiful, beautiful loafers. And here are the red bottoms. As you can see, it's a little bit scuffed because he wore it to the event, which was fine. But just really, really cool. And I was just so proud of my husband for just like stepping out of his comfort zone. And actually, I wouldn't even say it was outside of his comfort zone, but he has been like embracing style with quirky types of pieces that you don't see anywhere or everywhere. And I really, really am excited about that. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you the shoes that I got. And when he signed the shoe, he signed it with our name. So it was like our name and then his name, which makes it even more distinctive. So let's take a look. I'm gonna show you the shoe that I got. Ooh, look at these. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna show you both at the same time. So I'm gonna show you the normal shoe because he signed one. He didn't sign both, y'all, okay? All right, so here is the normal red bottom. Look at that vibrant color. Isn't that amazing? It's like a fluorescent yellow green, but it's patent leather, and it has like, it's got a weird, it's like a neon, but a neon that I haven't actually really seen before. I'm really curious to see how it's gonna show up on camera, but the color is something else. Like if it looks just yellow to you, it's not. It's got a twinge of green. It is absolutely gorgeous. And here's the sole, a beautiful red bottom right here, right? All right, so now let me show you the pair, the other one that completes the pair of what he signed. So it says Roxanne, and it says like heart C/Louboutin. So there's his signature right there. And I love that what he did with my name was that he painted like the R in like the circle, the O, the A, the E, and these little colors. He's put like these really cool hearts on it. And then he put like little studs all around the trim going to that red bottom. Like, I was not expecting all that. I have a little pink daisy, a yellow daisy right there. And it says for Roxanne, heart C Louboutin. I'm so, so happy with this shoe. It is gorgeous. And I do not plan on wearing these. These are gonna be a part of my archive. To have something this unique, there's no way that I could put this out and like put it on the streets and wear it. It's just not happening. It's not happening at all. So here's the pair together. And then here's the back with one of them signed, personally signed to me, which I'm just like so in love with and absolutely am over the moon about. And I wasn't expecting all this detail. I literally thought it was gonna be like, I didn't even think it would say for, I thought it was just gonna be like Roxanne / like Christian Louboutin or C Louboutin, whatever he wanted to do. I was not expecting all of that extra design. So isn't that pretty special? So I'm just so grateful to have been invited to that event and to have met him. And I'll make sure that I'll share some B-roll with you of the party. It was packed, everybody. They had drinks. They had they also had like a little ice cream vendor type, like a little vending cart like from back in the day that had alcoholic like popsicles in it. It was I think it was strawberry daiquiri, and then I think the other one was maybe a margarita. All right, so now let's take a look at, let me close this up because I want to show you the one that I got from my best friend. Let's put this up here for now. So see what she selected for her shoe. Lots of unwrapping. So I'm going to show you the normal shoe first. And I know she cannot wait to get this shipped. She lives out on the East Coast where I still live. Look at this. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? Like, this is literally the pool right here, okay? You have this kind of like hologram effect on the clear part here of the shoe. And then similar to my husband's loafer, you've got that kind of pool water effect theme that's going to be on the tip. It's on the inside sole and also the back and the heel. I love the studs. So, you know, Louboutin studs on boots, on handbags, on shoes, you name it. So these are white studs, which I really like. And I really like that the heel is not a pure stiletto. It has a little bit of thickness to it. You know, his traditional pumps, like the one I got in the that fluorescent yellow, was that stiletto heel. This one is a little bit wider. And then we also have a really cute ankle strap. So I think she did a great job selecting this for her. This is totally her personality. I almost was gonna get the shoe myself, but I felt like for me, in the collection that I have, that color is unlike anything I own, and I think I would have regretted it if I didn't spring for it. Okay, so this is the normal shoe. Let's now see the second one. So here's the shoe again, but here's her version of it, right? So this one says for Jessica, her name's Jessica, love C. Louboutin. So she's got really pretty like stud designs all over it too. A beautiful heart, just the decoration, the flowers, just so pretty and so unique. I'm gonna hold them up together for you to see. So here's, put this the right way. So here's it on the front. And now here are the shoes on the back. So I hooked my girl up, you know, I hook her up whenever I can, right? This was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'm so glad that I got to get a pair for her. So the story isn't quite over yet. So we got our pictures, me, Michael, my assistant Rosa, we took our pictures, had all that great fun at the party. So then on the way out, I am making my way, you know, Michael and I are making our way to the exit of the store. And this was after the party, after everything kind of died down. And we walked past the Louboutin area, their concession space in Neiman's. And I'm seeing the bags that are kind of like going with the theme, but then I saw some bags that were not part of the theme. And you know, I'm all about the handbags, ladies, right? So I saw this one bag and I was like, whoa, that is cool. Now here's the deal. As of January 1 this year, I had a vow to myself that I would lay off on handbags. No matter how much I tried, ladies, I can't resist. This is probably like the third one I've gotten for the year so far. Maybe it's my second. But anyway, I saw it and the style was definitely one that I needed in terms of expanding in this one area of my handbag collection. I saw one color and then I saw another color that was like all pink, like pretty much like Swarovski crystals. That was really stunning. But then my eyes went to this one. So here's the bonus, right? So we got the shoe unveiling, but now we got the handbag unveiling. So check this out. It has a little bit of lint on it from the bag, but look at how pretty this clutch is. So it's like a dark gray. I'm hoping it doesn't read as black, but when you turn it, it's got kind of like this hologram effect where you're seeing the colors of the spectrum. So red all the way through the Roy G. Biv violet at certain angles. So it's not a matte black. I love that it's a really, really high gloss patent. And look at the design. I just love that simple kind of cross right there. So pretty. It does come with this delicate chain. So you can kind of like wear it, you know, like this if you like, or in the crook of your arm. Obviously you can carry it as a clutch and you can conceal the wrist strap. You can drop that right in here and do a full on clutch moment with it. It is so freaking pretty. I can't even tell you. I just really hope that the camera like captures how beautiful the bag is. And then on the inside, you know, we have our signature red for Louboutin. So that's there. And it's not a bag that holds much. This is an evening bag, ladies. Or a bag that you want to take again for like the elevated casual look. You know, jeans, a cute top, some heels, and you want to have something that's a little bit sassy. I will probably use it in that realm, but definitely for more kind of evening or like girls' night out when I just don't have to carry a lot besides my phone and like a credit card, right? So this was the bonus. I was not expecting to buy anything more. You know, we walked out the prior. Oh, I got this on the night of the party. So we had already, you know, got our shoes from the prior week, and then the night of the party, then like getting this, like it just was like icing on the cake. So that's my little Louboutin story time for you. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I want to know, you know, has Louboutin come to your city to do this type of promotion? I think that this collection may be exclusive to Neiman Marcus. I'm not 100% sure on that, but definitely let me know that. And if you enjoyed this content, please share the love, give me a like, share it with a girlfriend or boyfriend. May want to get you some shoes, right? And also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.